Please welcome Ray Scapinello, inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the referee linesman category.
Did I really hear Pat Quinn give me a compliment? Mr. Hay, Mr. Bettman, selection committee members, fellow inductees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I stand here very humbled by this honor and excited to join the fraternity known as the Hockey Hall of Fame. I had the privilege to spend 33 years in a profession I love, and to have it culminate into this honor is for me the pinnacle of a life spent working hard and believing in a dream. I would like to thank Jeff Denemy, Kelly Massey, and the entire staff of the Hall for making this weekend so special for my family and friends. I would like to congratulate Igor and Glenn for the induction this evening. I had the privilege of being on the ice with both these gentlemen, and their selection is well deserved. To the Chinook family, congratulations. I never had the privilege of meeting your husband, but I can assure you over my career, your husband's name was mentioned many times, along with his many contributions to the game of hockey. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize two gentlemen who have made a significant impact in the game of hockey. To Neil Stevens, who received the Elmer Ferguson Memorial Award for print journalism, and to Mike Doc Emmerich, who is recognized as the voice of the National Hockey League in the United States, who received the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award for outstanding contribution as a hockey broadcaster. These gentlemen exemplify professionalism and integrity, and tonight I salute you both. It's tough to sum up 33 years in less than 4 minutes, but what I can assure you is no one ever reached any level of success with the help of several people, and I certainly am no exception. As much as I would love to thank each and every one publicly, I just do not have the allotted time, but it would be my mission to speak to each person individually as to their contribution to my career. There are two gentlemen that must be recognized for their influence on my career and thanked tonight on national television. The first gentleman is Scotty Morrison, who was a referee-in-chief of the National Hockey League, who hired a young man, somewhat vertically challenged in 1971, and then stood by and supported me over many seasons, and today is still a mentor of mine. The hiring of me in 1971 was questioned by the president of the National Hockey League at that time, Mr. Clarence Campbell. Scotty assured Mr. Campbell that he thought I was a good linesman, that I was okay, and that he was not to worry. Scotty, you never told me what you saw in me or why you hired me, and maybe you never will. But tonight in front of this audience, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're going to have to give me a second here. The second mentor I had the pleasure of working with during the early part of my career was John D'Amico. I worked many games with John, and in my humble opinion, and anyone else who ever saw his work, was that John was the greatest linesman that ever laced up a pair of skates. John is a member of this hall, and he set the gold standard for all other officials to strive for. Scotty assigned John and I to work several games together early in my career, which was a good decision because it started me off in the right foot. In the early 70s, the Buffalo Sabres had a line dubbed the French Connection: Gilbert Perrault, Martin, and Robert. And since John and I had worked so many games together, Scotty called John and I the Italian Short Circuit. I think it was a compliment. I have spoken of two men from the world of hockey that helped me achieve this honor. But the real driving force was, and is my wife of 29 years, Maureen. Maureen and I married in 1979, and in 1980 she gave birth to our son Ryan. Ryan is sitting next to his mom, and they're joined by Stephanie, his girlfriend. As a child, Ryan was a severe asthmatic, and he spent much of his early childhood in the hospital as much as he did at home. Oftentimes I would call home and ask how Ryan was, and her response was always the same: Ryan's fine. When I would find out later, he was in the hospital. Maureen always wanted to talk about me, how my games were going, and if everything was fine with me. She would tell me not to worry, that everything was under control at home. And I can tell you that officiating is much easier when all you have to concentrate on is the game you're officiating and not clog your mind with outside distractions. Find a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. I'm not sure how many people from the working world can say that this adage applies to them. But for me, it was my mantra. It was my passion, my second love. And Maureen knows I couldn't wait for my next assignment. I sincerely thank the selection committee for this honor bestowed upon me and my family. This honor will not sit on a shelf, but be worn on my sleeve each and every day. I will share my experience with young individuals, provide encouragement to them so they too can achieve success and personal satisfaction in whatever career they choose. Scotty Morrison and John D'Amico did it for me, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, because I can assure you I will.